Hey guys, we're here with Roland Paris, the guy that probably inks most of the stuff that you've ever read in your life. I'm just saying. Roland, how you doing, man?
Doing good. How about you?
Doing good, man. Appreciate you being on here with us, man. So tell us, man, what are some of the stuff that because you've worked with a lot of stuff, you've done a lot of work over the years.
Yep.
What have you worked on? Like, what's the big things people know you from?
I worked on Marvel Adventures Spider-Man. I've done a lot of stuff for Amazing Spider-Man. I've worked on some X-Men stuff.
Right.
Dark X-Men: The Confession was a pretty big seller.
Right.
I've worked on some X-Force. I've done stuff for a company called CrossGen.
Right.
Before they went under, I was on staff for them for 3.5 years. I've worked on some books for CrossGen, City Heroes, and
right.
Darkness, and all kinds of stuff. Chaos, Purgatory for Chaos.
Right.
So yeah,
very cool. All right. So what is your favorite thing you've ever worked on, and why was it such a great thing for you?
My favorite thing that I've ever worked on in my 20 years of working as an inker was Marvel's adaptation of Homer's The Odyssey.
Yeah.
It was my favorite thing for a couple of reasons. One, I was a huge fan of the epic poem. I read it as a child, and read it in high school, and read it over and over. Absolutely loved it. Loved the story and the idea behind it. Secondly, I got to work with Roy Thomas, who was one of my favorite writers when I was growing up. He wrote pretty much everything for Marvel in the 70s when I was reading books, and still reading books, but he was so prolific in the 70s.
Yeah.
His name was everywhere, and when they said, you get to work with Roy, I was like, okay, cool. And then thirdly, I got to ink one of my all-time favorite pencilers, a guy named Greg Tocchini.
Really?
Who is an amazing penciler out of Brazil.
Right.
I worked over him on some stuff at CrossGen, and absolutely loved working with him.
Right.
And then when CrossGen went under, he and I worked on an issue of Miss Marvel, fill-in issue of Miss Marvel for Marvel.
Yeah.
And then when they decided to do the Odyssey, they looked at my stuff on Miss Marvel and went, yeah, he
got some talent.
Yeah. So let's team you up again.
Right.
And absolutely love working with the guy. He is one of the most underrated pencilers in the business. Mm-hmm. Right now, he's doing a book called Low for Image, and it's a brilliant book. Yeah, I'm plugging somebody else. But yeah, that's the third reason.
Right.
I absolutely loved working. That's
awesome.
In 20 years of working on stuff for several companies, that's my all-time favorite thing I've ever worked on.
In 20 years, man, you've done a lot of stuff. You've seen the highs and you've seen the lows of the industry.
Oh, yeah.
What has kept you going? What's been your passion this entire time?
Just the art itself, the idea of taking written word, turning it into a visual story. It's a magical thing. I love it. It's. I knew I was going to be a comic book artist when I picked up my first comic book. I was 5 years old.
Oh yeah.
And I went, this is what I want to do.
Right.
This is what I'm going to do.
Right.
So, it's something that is just ingrained in me, and I absolutely love it.
Sweet.
I don't do it for the money because Lord knows I don't make a lot. But I do it just because I simply love it.
Right.
It really is. That's why I do it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So if you, say somebody's watching our show right now and they're wanting to get into it but you knowing the struggle, what would you say to someone just starting out saying that they want to do this?
If you want to be a comic book artist, one, practice.
Yeah.
Draw all the time, ink all the time if you want to be an inker. If you want to be a colorist, color all the time. Take your stuff to shows, show them the professionals, get critiques.
Right.
Most importantly, listen to the critiques.
That's a good word right there.
Listen.
Yeah.
Don't defend yourself. Don't say, well, I did this because of the... Listen to it. Right. They know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
You know? You have to learn to accept constructive criticism.
Yeah.
You have to grow a thick skin. Always work, always improve. The more you draw, the better you're going to get at it. Practice, practice, practice. It's just like being a musician or an athlete or whatever. Yeah. The more you do it, the better you get at it. Secondly, if you do break in, that's when the real struggle begins.
Oh, really?
Yep. It's so much harder to stay in the industry than it is to get in the industry.
Now, why is that?
Because there's so many people in the industry that it's very difficult to be steady and work steadily at it.
All right. Cool beans, man. Well, I appreciate it. Roland, how can people get in touch with you?
Just Facebook,
All right.
That's the only social media I have. I'm too old for like a ton of stuff. So.
All right, man. I appreciate it, guys. Check out Roland on Facebook. We'll have links down below. And hey, man, thanks so much for being here with us.
Thank you, Dallas.
Appreciate it.